Hi there, and welcome to She Spice. So it seems as though Dave Chappelle may be stepping in to have Wendy Williams back as per the Graham Plant word on the road. He's attempting to surrender her a heads about what's going down in the business. Supposedly Dave sounding the caution, expressing Wendy's in some serious difficulty. And in the event that she doesn't get the assistance she wants quickly, the people pulling the strings may very well prevail with regards to getting freed of her currently. Hollywood's a wild spot, right? Distinction and fortune sure, but on the other hand, it has its reasonable portion of weird sicknesses springing up among probably the greatest names in the business, and the thing is, a ton of these people are referred to as being no nonsense, yet unexpectedly, they're struck somewhere near secretive diseases no one appears to have known about before. It resembles their succumbing to some inconspicuous power is constrained by the tip-top, who calls the shots in the background. Wendy Williams is certainly no outsider to contention as a brave television moderator. She never withdraws from handling the extreme issues. She doesn't mind who she is taking on when it comes to taking care of her business. No one could hold her up except for now. It seems like the very powers that attempted to silence Dave Chappelle and others are coming for her. I mean, how can somebody change so unexpectedly? It has people scratching their heads. Yet presently Dave is by all accounts moving forward to reveal some more insight into the circumstances, so how about we make a plunge? Wendy's going through a few difficult stretches of late word on the road because she's been managing some serious monetary woes, guaranteeing individuals SW cleaned all her money and left her bankrupt. In addition, there's discussion that people are marking her as insane, yet we should be genuine. This isn't precisely another story in Hollywood. We've seen this example work out with lots of celebs before. Briefly, they're enjoying some real success, and the following, they're being discounted as insane or unsound. Simply ask Dave Chappelle, who knows basically everything there is to know about it. Feline Williams even revolted against it, dropping some reality bombs about Dave's difficulty. As indicated by him, Dave was essentially destroyed by the business. Later, making a boatload of money, they attempted to undermine him by offering him peanuts, which contrasted with what he was owed. When Dave attempted to go to bat for himself, they hit him with the insane name, attempting to quieten him and stain his standing. Dave Chappelle was beheaded before us. They said your fans will accept that you're an insane crackhead when you return home, and my dad got on the trip in LA, and when he got to Ohio, it was so. And here's the kicker, the ones harming or phrasing us aren't a few far-off foes yet the ones we fellowship with, the ones we consider family. It's an unforgiving reality yet it's valid, and assuming you've seen the Dave Chappelle and Oprah Winfrey interview you'll know precisely exact thing people are looking at something about that sit-down gave individuals something else altogether about Oprah. She was by all accounts pushing an alternate plan, so Dave moved up on her show to let the cat out of the bag on why he turned down an incredible $50 million offer from Funny TV and plunge to Africa. He was attempting to make sense of that large cash. Bargains isn't all daylight and rainbows, they accompany a few serious surprises. However, Oprah wasn't letting Dave free that simple. She continued squeezing him, attempting to cause him to concede he went insane. Dave resembled you enough is enough, or you hit him with questions like partners detailed. You turned out to be progressively distrustful. Would you say you were suspicious? And Dave, being the legend, he answered with sureness, what's an individual of color without his neurosis? You win $100. You're actually investigating your shoulder on the tram. Your partners were cited as saying that you had become increasingly suspicious. Would you say you were jumpy certain as a matter of some importance? What is a person of color without his neurosis? Dave, with his particular mind, was like a steady force, as at any point he continued to push, and Dave spread it out. Individuals around him were pushing for him to take hostile to maniacal drugs, yet he got over it like it was not a problem. Rehashing that Dave was recently worried and neurotic. So did you go to a mental medical clinic in South Africa? Better believe it, who gracious Dave wasn't having it. However, he spilled more tea, discussing how people were attempting to get him on medications. He wasn't having any of that control game. He directly said, I'm not taking this medication, man, since I realize these individuals may be attempting to control you or perhaps ruin you. I was apprehensive about adhering to her account demands. He was simply focused on Dave. He kept it genuine, saying no inquiry except for the fact that it's extremely unpleasant for somebody to continually stroll behind you and say you're crazy and prepared. I was apprehensive, like you know, yet you were worried. That is the reason there was no inquiry, except that it's extremely unpleasant for somebody to continually stroll behind you and say you're crazy. He additionally made sense of how hitting that new level wrecks your head, requiring time to conform to the entirely different energy. Dave's been in the showbiz game since he was 14, so he's seen the drama unfold in the background. When Oprah squeezed him about the narratives he's heard, he became truly about stars like Mariah Carey catching serious deals and, afterward, unexpectedly spinning out of control, Laurence Olivier also waving a weapon on the road, guaranteeing they're out to get him. That peculiar stuff happens when they're near the very edge of the following huge profession move. I mean, you see, before looking, Blemish Carey made a $100 million arrangement, and after 90 days, she's out of nowhere. Bafflingly insane, Laurence punches through, and he's waving a firearm on the road, shouting that they're attempting to kill me. The situation resembled a chess match, and Dave wasn't playing the game. The man had his explanations behind bobbing, and he wasn't allowing anybody to screw with his head. Dave has likewise been open about how the business attempted to turn up the pressure on him some time ago. It got so serious that he straight up streamed off to Africa, leaving his hit show behind. When it was at its pinnacle, the strain and everything, those moral worries about where his show was going just became excessive, and he wasn't going to allow them to make major decisions. Additionally, someone else the business purportedly attempted to fight was Kanye West. Kanye's never been one to beat around the bush, particularly with regards to getting down on the people pulling the strings. He directly said that a few big cheeses have a hold over certain celebrities, and he's even tossed around the possibility that he's unapproachable, like he can get out anything he desires without results. I can express what I might be thinking and not go to prison, which tells the camera they have zero control over me. You get what I'm talking about. They have some control over Shaq, they have some control over Charles Barkley, they have some control over LeBron James, they have some control over Jay-Z and Beyoncé, however, they have no control over me. You see, it ain't no name. I won't name it. It's up. Ye then raised his departed mother, asserting she was forfeited prior to adding, I'm the P, not the K. No one except for that implies I can get anything I desire. My mom isn't here. My mom was forfeited. You can't send any of your facts. You all are puffies. You all, little boos, none of these names, none of these individuals that need to pay attention to you all. I never K no one, I'm the P that never K no one, however, that implies I can get out anything I desire. He then proceeds to specify Michael Jordan's dad, suggesting that the ball legend's father was correspondingly forfeited. They had some control over LeBron James, they have some control over Jay-Z and Beyoncé, yet, no, man, except for them having zero control over me. See, ain't no name, I won't name. It's up now whether Kanye's cases hold any reality or, on the other hand, on the off chance that he mixing the pot stays questionable. This adds one more layer to the intricacies of the music business, and as additional accounts arise, it ends up being progressively upsetting, and presently, it appears as though Wendy's up to speed in a comparable tempest in the midst of every one of her battles and medical problems. Word on the road is she's stayed in some detached office with her family left in obscurity about where she is. Clearly she got hit with a conclusion last year after a lot of clinical trials, and her group saying it's tossing a few significant barriers in her way. We're discussing phasia screwing with her language abilities and transient dementia, which is playing with her way of behaving and mental works. So Wendy's group chose to hold nothing back, sharing the intense news about her condition with the world. It was anything but a simple call, however they felt like it was essential to focus a light on aphasia and frontotemporal dementia for the good of Wendy as well as to bring issues to light for others too. They clarified that while Wendy's confronting a few intense provokes, she's actually clutching that brand name funny bone of hers. They said the choice to share this news was troublesome and made after cautious thought, not exclusively to advocate for the comprehension and sympathy for Wendy over to bring issues to light about aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. Wendy is as yet ready to do numerous things for herself. Above all, she keeps up with her brand name funny bone and is getting the consideration she expects to ensure she is secured and that her requirements are tended to. She is energetic about the numerous benevolent contemplations and great wishes being sent her direction. However, seeing those indications of aphasia firsthand in Wendy's narrative, it hits you right in the stomach, like that second with Dark China where Wendy's attempting to convey, and it's simply so difficult to observe. However, my genuine name is Wendy Tracker, that's right, MHM, and I'm separated from, yes, you can tell China's inclination, the heaviness, all things considered. Here's this normally sharp and clever individual, and presently she's battling to string together a subscribe She Spice for more videos.